Session we have started with structures and we have tried to cover some examples related to structures. Now, in this particular session, we are going to start with typedef, and let us see what do you mean by this typedef and where are you using this typedef and all, right? So, before that, let me share my screen. Yeah, I hope my screen is also visible. Yes. So, let us start with this typedef. Okay, so what do you mean by typedef and all? Let us try to understand. So basically, this type def is used to create your own data type. Now, what do I mean by creating your own data type? Let us try to understand. Let's say if I have a simple module and the module name is some ABC. Okay. Now, if I'm going to write down int m, which is equal to 0, and followed by end module, is there any mistake or anything wrong in this particular code? I don't feel anything wrong, right? So if I'm going to write down simply model ABC in time is equal to 0 and model, that's it. There is nothing wrong in that. But if I'm going to write down n p is equal to 1, is there any wrong in this particular code? If I'm going to write down np is equal to 1, is it wrong? Is it correct or wrong? If I'm going to write this, it's wrong, right? So basically n is not declared or it's not a data type, right? So it is not declared in libraries or it is not a data type. Okay. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something known as typedef. So this typedef is used to create your own data type. Create a data type. Now how to create it or how to use it? So let us see. So what I'm going to write down is typedef int n. Now, instead of you writing int everywhere in your code, what you're going to use is n. Okay. So instead of you using this particular int data type or int keyword everywhere, you are going to use this n. Now, if you are going to write down np, which is equal to 1, your compiler is going to understand that, okay, so instead of int, you are going to basically write down n. Okay, so the compiler will come to know that, okay, this n is nothing but of data type int and it is going to accept this particular assignment. Okay, is it clear? That's it. So this is nothing but my type def. So this type def is going to create your own data type. You can create it by using this particular keyword which is known as type def. Is it clear for everyone? Yes or no? Yes, yes. Now, now let's say, now let's say if in our previous example we have seen one structure example, right? Structure, and here we have written int a, int m, okay, and this is one variable p1 and another variable p2. Okay, now instead of declaring this whole syntax every time when you are going to declare your variables, like in our previous example where we were using our modules, let me show you that particular thing. Where is it? Yeah, this one. So instead of you declaring input struct int id, string name, and again inside it struct int street number and string. So every time you're declaring this particular structure for declaring your variables, what you can do is you can use this keyword which is known as typedef. Okay. So you can see over here what we are going to do is, so we are basically writing down typedef struct, and here we are going to have the properties as street number and city, and this address underscore t is not a variable. Please carefully see this. It's not a variable, it's a data type which which we are declaring. Okay, so what is it? It is a data type of struct type. Okay, and here also we are going to use a type def struct int id, string name, and address underscore t. You can see over here this address underscore t is a structure. Okay, so it is a structure of this particular thing. So instead of me writing this thing, let me write it down. So struct int id, string name, and again declaring the struct as we have discussed in previous example also, right? int street number and string city followed by semicolon and the variable name, let's say it is some add. Okay. So instead of me declaring this everything, what I can do is I can remove this and I can simply write it down, the structure name followed by the variable name. That's it. Okay. So this is where I can use this typedef keyword. So it is basically helping you to decrease the number of lines, and it is helping you to increase the readability. Okay. So is it clear for everyone? Is this example clear? Yes or no? Please look into it this and let me know. Okay, what about others? Is it clear? Okay, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Now, after declaring this particular structure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a variable. How to declare a variable? So person underscore t is my structure. If you carefully observe, this person underscore t is a structure which is being type def. Okay. So we have created a variable. We have created a data type that is person underscore t, and this p is nothing but variable. Okay. So instead of you writing all this particular thing here, you are just going to create a type def using type def. You have created a data type and you have written over here. Okay, so within an initial beginning block, using this variable, you are going to access this properties and you are going to have the values to that particular thing. Okay, let me copy this and let me paste it and let us see the output is what we are going to get. We copy. Yeah, properties will be the same. See, if you carefully observe, this p is nothing but my variable name which has been declared as a structure with the help of this person underscore t, which we have, which is a user defined data type which we have created using the type def. And the properties remaining the same, remains the same. P dot id is equal to 101, which is present over here. P dot name is equal to some name. Okay. And anyone Rahul present in this meet? I don't think. Yeah. And P dot address dot street number. Okay. And P dot address dot city. So the properties are remaining same. Okay. There is no change in that particular thing. Okay. Is it clear? Is typedef only used for do declare typedef? Sorry, I didn't get your question. Oh, yeah, data type. Exactly. Any other queries? Sorry, I am missing module and end module one. So see, it's normal structure, but the thing which we have used is a typedef. This is what we need to understand over here. Okay. Yes, I hope this is clear, right? So any doubts or any queries? Shall we move forward? Okay, that's great. Yeah. And you can see the count also, like it's 53. So day one, everyone was complaining that they cannot join the meet. See, so it's day three and the count has reduced a lot. So okay, no issue. Day one was literally I was getting flood of messages like we cannot join the meet, we cannot join the meet. Okay, yeah. So we will continue this particular thing. I hope this type of it is clear. Yes. So now let us start with something known as enum, okay, which is known as enumerated data type. Now, this particular enumerated data type, which we are going to have a list of values. Okay. So let me show you how to declare a enum variable. So enum is basically a list of variables. Okay. So using this enum, what we can do is we can basically declare a list of variables which a particular sorry, it's a list of values. So using this enum, what we can do is we can decide a particular variable. So what type of values it can have. For example, so if I have I'm going to declare a enum. This is my keyword which I'm going to have. And within curly braces, I'm going to have idle S0, S1, and S2, and PS comma NS. So this PS comma NS are my variables which I'm going to have. Of which data type? Enum data type. Now these variables can have only these values assigned. Okay. So you can only have PS to be assigned to idle, or you can only have PS to be assigned to S1, or you can only have PS to be assigned to S0. That's it. You cannot assign PS is equal to S3 or PS is equal to S4. No, not at all. It will not allow. Okay. So if you declare any variable with enum data type with some list of values, then that particular variables can only be assigned to that particular list of values. That's it. You cannot assign the values which are not declared in that particular list. So basically this enum helps you to get the protection, and this value, these variables cannot be assigned to any other values which is present inside this, which is not present inside this particular list. That's it. Is it clear? Exactly, FSM. So basically this enum will be used in FSM coding also. I will show you when we are going to do this FSM coding. Yes. Is it clear for everyone? Enum, is it clear? Yes. Yeah. Any doubt, Vani? Yeah. Okay. So let me show you this enum data type examples. Let us see some examples for this. So here I have declared a simple module which is tb underscore enum. Now I have simply written enum and the list of values is true and false. Okay. And e underscore true underscore false is my variable. So what I'm going to do here is e underscore true underscore false is equal to true. I'm assigning it. Okay. And I've also assigned another variable yes. So let me copy this code and I will show you in the simulation. Yeah, I will come to that particular point also. So let me first of all run this and let me show you. What up? Okay, sorry. Within an initial begin and block, initial begin and end. Let me run it one more time. See, so you're basically going to get undeclared identifier yes. Okay. So this is what we are going to get. Let me write down some other value, a constant value as 3. Okay. So let me run it one more time. See, assignment to enum variable from expression of different type. This is what we are going to get if we try to assign a different value which has been not declared in this particular list. Okay. Is it clear for everyone? Okay. Now, coming to this particular question, the difference between enum and parameter, let us try to understand this particular thing. So, if you assign this particular variables with enum data type, then what I've said is these variables can be assigned to only these values, right? But if you declare a parameter, and parameter is nothing but it's an alias or it's an alternate name which you are going to give for a particular variable, right? So let's say parameter s1 is equal to 2 tick binary 00. Okay. So this is nothing but instead of you writing this 00, you are just simply writing s1 instead of you writing everywhere 00 or 01. So you are replacing this particular one with s1. That is the difference between a parameter and an enum. Both are completely different. Okay. Is it clear, Rahul? Great. Now, so in this particular enum, let us see one more example of this enum. So here in this particular example, I've declared a test bench and where I've declared the enum data type. Okay. So using this type def, I've created one data type which is color underscore set one. Okay. So where this particular variable can have the values of green, yellow, red, and blue. That's it. Okay. And if you carefully observe, if I'm going to declare any particular enum variable, this particular values will have some set of indexes. Okay. So by default, this particular values are going to have the indexes as 0, 1, 2, and 3. So these are the default indexes these values are going to have. Okay, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so in this particular code also, if you carefully observe, the green, yellow, red, and blue, green is going to have an index of 0, and yellow is going to have an index of 1, red is 2, and blue is 3. Now let me show you one thing. Where is it? Okay, before that we will discuss some built-in functions which are present in this enum. So the built-in functions which we have in this enum data type is first. Okay. So this particular built-in function, it is going to return the first element in the enum list which we are going to have. Okay. And next is last. This is going to basically return the last element in that particular list. Okay. And next will return the next element in that particular element which we have asked for, and previous will basically return the previous element. Okay, and next of n, where n is nothing but my index, and previous of n. Okay, so these are the built-in functions which we are going to have. Okay, so let us see this with an example. So here we have declared an enum and some color sets we have declared, and here what are we going to use is, let me show you. Yeah, this one. So I'm using color dot first. Okay, let me copy this and let me show you. Yeah. So what we are doing here, so we have declared a model TB, and within an initial beginning block colors, and let me declare this colors also. So we have created a data type using the typedef. You can also use this typedef outside the module also. Yeah. So I've declared a data typedef enum. Let me remove this. We will discuss it later. We have declared enum green, yellow, red, blue. These are my list of values which I'm going to have, and colors is my data type now. So using this data type, I've created a variable which is known as color. Now I'm assigning color is equal to yellow. Okay. And what I'm doing, so let me first of all disable everything. Just I'm going to display the name. How to display the name? You are going to use a built-in function which is known as variable.name. So you are going to use a built-in function which is known as name, which is going to return you the name of the current element. Let me run this and let me show you. See, so the color dot name is basically it is equal to yellow. So let me write it down over here. So name is also a built-in function which is going to basically return you the name of the current element. Okay, current element. Now, if you're going to write down simply, if let me show you again. So if I'm not using this particular name function, and if I'm going to simply write down percentage %d over here and let me run it. See, so it is basically returning the index value of that particular element. Now, what is the index value of this yellow, which is equal to 1? Okay. So for displaying the name, I should use the function which is known as dot name, or the function which is name. Or if I'm not using it, I'm just trying to print the variable, then it is going to return me the index value. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear for everyone? Okay. Now, so let's say, so let's say if I'm going to use if I'm going to change this particular index value, green is equal to 2. Now, what do you think the index of the printing on the console will be, or the index value that will be printed in the console? If I have changed my green value, the index value of green is equal to 2. What do you think? Okay. So here, in the case of your enum data type, if you have declared simply enum and green is equal to 2 and yellow. So what is going to happen is, from this it is going to increment. The default value will be incremented to 3, and next it will be equal to 4 and so on. Is it clear for everyone? So let me display it and show you. So what is it? We are going to get color name is equal to 3. Can you see this? Now let's say if I have written this as 1, is it going to accept? Let us run it and check it. If I'm going to write down here 1, so you can see duplicate value in enumerated data type, and it is showing this particular unresolved forward type def color definition. Okay. So you are not supposed to write it down that particular thing. So since the index values are incrementing by default, you cannot change it. Okay. Now, so you can give the value which is greater than the previous index value. Okay. So that is nothing but 4 or 5 or 10 or something. Okay. Yes. So that is about my name and the index value. Okay. Now, coming to num. So what is this num? So this num variable, or sorry, this num function is going to return the total number of enum. Okay. So let me display it. So what it is basically displaying? So it is displaying the total number of values which are present in this particular thing. Okay. And next is previous. Okay. So let us see what is this previous. So it's also a function. Let us see what is previous is going to return. So if you carefully see, what I'm yeah, where is previous? Yeah, here. So we can see color dot previous is equal to 2. So what it is giving basically color dot previous is equal to 2. So since we have the value of color is equal to yellow, so we have assigned the value of our color is equal to yellow. So the previous value of this yellow is nothing but green, and it is returning the index value of green, that is nothing but my 2. You can see over here. So we have assigned the value of color is equal to yellow. So the previous value of this yellow is nothing but green, that is nothing but my 2. It is displaying that particular thing. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Now, coming to next. So what is next? Next is nothing but it is going to give the next value of this particular variable. Okay. So what is after yellow? After yellow is nothing but red. The index value of this red is nothing but 4. Okay. That is what it is giving. And next is last. So the last value of this list will be given, and first is the first value of this list will be given. Let me show you this one also. So first is nothing but, so last is nothing but 5, and first is nothing but green. So that will be displayed. Let me show you. Okay. Yes. So is it clear up to here? Any doubts or any queries? Okay. Let me give you percentages and let me show you what is that you are going to get. So what is that I am going to get over here? Can you see? What is that I am getting? Can you see this character? So it's basically unidentified. Okay. So this function is going to return you only the integers. Okay. So that's why I'm going to give here percentage %d. Okay. The first, last, next, previous num. This and all are going to give me only integer values. Okay. So that I'm going to collect them. Okay. Now, percentage D is for decimal, or this is what I've shown you, right? So basically, if you are going to use this functions, basically, it is not for adding any space. Okay, so let me show you. Can you see? And here also, there is this much of space over here. Okay, Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now, let's say, can anyone tell me how many integer values we can have in this particular list? Sorry, I mean how many index values we can have over this particular list? What do you think? Infinite index values? Only four. Huh? Okay, let me add one more index value and let us check it out. Yellow. Okay, already yellow has been declared, right? So let's say black. I'm getting total five index values. So what do you think? Four is not a correct answer. Can I have five? Five is the last limit, or how many? What will be the maximum limit? Okay, so you cannot have infinite index values. Here you can have only 2 power 32. Okay, so the total index values can be only 2 power 32 since it is of type int. Okay. So by default, if you're not mentioning any data type over here, it is going to be treated as int data type. Okay. Now let's say let us try to change it. Okay. So by providing bit one down to zero over here, let me change it over here. So what I'm going to do is bit one down to zero. Okay. And now bit one down to zero is nothing but two variables. So for two variable, what is the maximum value you can count? 4. So only 4 index values you can have. So 2, 3, 4 is the last, right? Let me run this and let us check it out. See. So value is outside the representable range of enum, which is 4. Okay. So that is the error you are going to get. You can also control how many index values you can have by providing this particular range before this particular list. Okay. So that you can also declare what is the range of indexes you can have. Okay. So up to here is it clear? Yes. So that was about our enum data type, and this is how and this is why we are going to use it. Okay. Yes. And in next session, we are going to start our discussion about. I think we can start with arrays from next session. I think static casting and all we will discuss later. Yeah. So that's about this particular session. If you have any doubts or any other queries you wanted to discuss, you can stay and discuss, or else you can leave the session. Okay. Thank you.